Oh my god! Ah! What? Woo! I'm 174 centimeters tall. Ia să vedem, mai am minute. It's time for a new adventure. I'm in Austria right now at the KTM factory and I just picked up this 790 adventure. We're gonna have a cool ride through the Balkans. I'm starting from Austria, then we're gonna go through Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia, Montenegro, and after that, honestly, I don't know, because all I know is that the final destination is Bucharest, and all I know is that we're gonna have a lot of fun. It feels like being not on an adventure bike, but being on a sports bike, because this bike is unbelievably fun. I mean, first of all, you got this engine, it's full of life, it's full of power, it revs very fast, and more than that, the bike itself, it feels very nimble, it feels very agile. It has this lower center of gravity because of the fuel tank, and it's like, I think it's the most nimble adventure bike I ever ridden. This is Bled. It's one of the most famous places in Slovenia. You can see it everywhere, in every tourist guide, on Instagram, everywhere. When you type Slovenia on Google, you see this beautiful lake. There's also a castle over there. There's a very beautiful church in the middle of the lake. And it's not such a bad idea to come here in October, because there are not so many tourists. Not so many, but still it's a very touristic place. We're on the Trans-Euro Trail right now, which is a crazy off-road route that crosses the whole Europe, and it looks fantastic. We're in Croatia, and the Adriatic Sea is over there. I'm in the middle of the forest with no service on the cell phone. It's not too technical so far. It's some gravel, fast gravel. Even though it's fully loaded with camping gear and filming equipment, it doesn't feel heavy. But now we're having a problem. And let me show you the problem. The problem looks like this. So, what should I do right now? It's a bit late, I have to buy some food, I have to find a nice place to spend the night. Or maybe I should do like this. What could go wrong? Take a look. This is the Zeljava Air Base, and it was built 50 years ago by the Yugoslavian government, and it was used until 1991 when it was destroyed. Now, it might look a bit like Star Wars, but there were planes, there were jet fighters coming through this door and going to this way to the main runway. Croatia is fabulous. Trust me, for me it's the best place to be right now because it's early September, there are 22 degrees Celsius, the perfect riding weather, and if you wanna go a ride harder you can go up in the mountains and have fun. If you just wanna relax and enjoy the life, you can ride through this coast road which is absolutely superb, and there is no traffic right now, it's just you and the bike, and then you can stop by and have a fresh fish. Whew. That's what I'm calling happiness. Ooh. Oh. I was about to lose the front. In fact, I lost the front end. It seems that the tires are not offering me the best grip after all, but somehow I managed to fix it up and to hold the bike. Whoa, now which way? It's just not the best place to drop your bike, being alone on the TED in the middle of nowhere. Okay, don't lose the momentum, don't lose the momentum. Come on. Haydi. Okay, now I'm just getting why the people that are coming around here are doing it on light enduro bikes and not on adventure bikes. Oh. Oh my god. Woo. Ooh, that was nice. Oh. That's why those people are doing it on enduro bikes. Adventure bikes filled with luggage. This is gonna take a while. What I learned today: pack light, get some enduro training, and don't do it alone. Take some friends with you. I just arrived in Mostar, and this is a very interesting and nice place to visit when you arrive in Bosnia and Herzegovina, because it's a special town. Everybody's talking about that east meets west feeling. I mean, there are a lot of mosques over here. There is a lot of Ottoman heritage, Islamic architecture, including that famous and amazing bridge. But also you can hear at the same time the bells from the cathedral, and yeah, it's a special place. Now I'm having a Mostar coffee, which is similar to the Turkish coffee, but here you got the sugar outside and not inside. I'm in Bosnia and Herzegovina, and I made a new friend. I'm gonna call him Goran. I hope it's good. And I hope he doesn't mind about that. So I just arrived in Bosnia and Herzegovina, and I got to this amazing place called Lukomir. Lukomir is a very isolated village. It's set on the top of the mountain, somewhere about 1,500 meters altitude, and being that isolated and that remote, it got famous, and suddenly it became suddenly it became not that isolated anymore. So there are a lot of tourists coming here, but still it's worth it, because it's a very nice view, and the road getting here is also very nice. And he's upset right now. As for the bike, because probably you're gonna ask me about the off-road handling, so far I'm very satisfied. I'm quite impressed because it's very nimble. I think I mentioned that before. As for the suspension, this is the S version, it's not the R version. Yeah, probably the R version would be better in off-road because of the better suspension on front, but honestly, if doing this type of adventure riding, I mean mostly street use and back roads and off-road like this, I mean, if you're not going to pilot to rally ride, this one should be enough. I think that it depends on the it depends on your riding skills and on your technique, and it depends on what you want from this bike. I can't say it for sure because I don't have an R version with me to do the same road with both versions and to come up with a conclusion, but that's what I think, because so far there's nothing to complain about this one. Nothing to complain about it. I'm using the seat on the high riding position because it comes with two different positions, high and low, and I prefer the higher one because it offers me enough legroom. And lasă-mă în pace. The seat comes with two different riding positions, and I prefer the higher one because it offers me more legroom, and I'm still able to reach the ground because of the clever shape of the fuel tank around here. So yep, I'm 174 centimeters tall. This is the last day and I just got to Montenegro and I'm about to enter the Durmitor National Park. To be honest, it's not the first time coming here, but I just can't get enough of this place because it looks so beautiful, and that's why I'm riding so slow right now, because well, this fabulous road is taking us up to the mountain, and from there we're gonna have a superb view. Good morning, my trip is almost done. It was more than a week, more than 2000 kilometers, all kind of roads and a lot of beautiful places in the Balkans. I started from Austria, then it was Slovenia, then Croatia, Bosnia Herzegovina, and now I'm in Montenegro. And right there behind me is the Durmitor National Park. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you didn't, and if you want to support us, there's a donation link in the description of this video. It's gonna help us to come up with better and better video production and with more and more videos. Now I'm gonna share my thoughts about this bike because I'm sure you're gonna ask me about it. So, the engine. If you wanna get the most out of it, you should rev it up because it starts to feel good at about 5,000, 6,000, something like that RPM, and it feels just fine when going uphill. Yeah, it's a very cool bike. And speaking of twisties, you're having a lot of fun when going on this kind of roads because with the fuel tank over there, it's a very balanced bike and it feels very natural to turn it from one side to another. It feels very nimble, it feels very accurate, so everything is right there. Maybe in the big adventure class, the things are a bit different because you have the BMW, the R1250 GS, which has a boxer and it's very nice to ride. It's very well balanced. But when it comes to the middleweight, this is the best bike for twisties. I mean, you're having the most fun with this one, with the KTM 790 Adventure. The braking system is very efficient. You have two radially mounted calipers on front and everything works just fine. And the suspension. First of all, let's talk about the road, the street part, because when going on street on smooth tarmac and trying those twisties I talked about, this suspension feels like it's over there, feels like planted over there. It's very good. I mean, you don't have a moment of instability, and it's right there when changing the direction, when braking. It doesn't come with such a big dive in, so it's not too soft. I think that the suspension works really good, and as I told you before, it feels like accurate as a sports bike, but without being uncomfortable. And I'm talking about this bike equipped with luggage, with a complete set of panniers, excepting a top case, of course, and with that bag. And I'm talking about these tires, the Mostar Karoo 3. So I don't know how it acts with other tires, with street tires, but anyway, nothing to complain about it. In fact, more than that, the riding dynamic on street is spectacular. Now let's talk a bit about the comfort, because maybe you want to take this out for a long trip, for a long journey, and you want to ride like 500 kilometers, 800 kilometers per day. The seat is a bit firm, it's not that comfortable, it's not bad either, but I think that you might want to switch it for a comfort seat if aiming for longer trips. It's a firm seat, that's the thing, but it's wide enough so it doesn't get very uncomfortable. Still, after let's say 300 kilometers of riding a day, you're not feeling that good. The weather protection. Well, as you can see, you have some wind deflectors over there under the headlight, but you don't have a bulky fairing. So not having a bulky fairing around the headlight means not so good weather protection in the upper body area. So you can feel the wind around your shoulders, somewhere around here in your chest. You can feel it when it gets a bit cold outside. And yeah, this is the thing. And there's one more thing, because I got a lot of wind noise in my helmet from the windscreen. Of course, it's about the height, it's about the helmet, but in my case, but speeds like more than 110 kilometers per hour, it got pretty noisy. So I think I'm gonna need some earplugs to be able to ride it for, I don't know, 4 days on the highway. But as I told you, this is because you don't have a bulky fairing around the headlight. And trust me, you don't want to have a bulky fairing around the headlight, especially when riding in off-road. So yeah, now we're gonna talk about the off-road part because it's very interesting. From what I did so far, from what I've seen so far, this is the best bike in the segment in off-road. I mean, period. That's it. This is the best one because, well, it comes with this shape of the fuel tank. This is the most important thing, I guess, because the fuel tank is over there, and trust me, it's tough enough, it's very well protected, it's not gonna break, so don't worry about it. But the fuel tank is over there, so you have a low center of gravity. That's the first thing. And the other thing is that the bike is quite narrow in the upper area, so you're not feeling like riding a rhino or an elephant or a hippopotamus. You get what I mean. So it feels very small and natural. It reminds me of the old Suzuki's DR 650 or something like that, but yeah, but it's even better. I mean, you're feeling very comfortable in off-road, and it feels very, very easy to use. Also, it's lighter than other bikes in the segment, and that's very important too. And actually, it feels lighter than it really is. I mean, look at this bike. It was equipped with these cases, and I had the camping gear and the filming gear, and I had everything, and still I didn't feel it very heavy, excepting that rocky part in Croatia on the Trans-Euro Trail, when, well, over there I think that you just need an off-road bike, an enduro bike, or maybe one of these but without any luggage, because otherwise it's very complicated to get downhill, especially if you don't want to drop it. And I didn't want to drop it, so I had to go very, very slow. And yeah, at that moment it felt a bit heavy, but still I managed to do it, and I'm really impressed. The suspension, I know you're gonna ask me about it, and it's very important. And here's the thing, I cannot say the real difference between this one and the R version, because in order to do that I have to ride them both side by side in same road conditions, and I wasn't able to do that. But I remember riding the R version in Merzouga, in Morocco, in the Sahara Desert, and I was riding like 90 kilometers per hour or something like that in smooth off-road, but still 90 or 100 kilometers per hour, and I felt like nothing. And at the moment I went to a bumpy section, and the suspension feels just fine. It was spectacular. It was like riding on a flying carpet, and I don't think this one would be capable of that. And I think that if you wanna go riding on the Trans-Euro Trail frequently, or if you wanna go off-road, or if you wanna push it harder in off-road, you should go for the R version. But for this kind of adventures, like the one I did, this one, the basic version, is perfect. I mean, I didn't really have any issues when riding in off-road with this bike. It was just like that. Okay, maybe when pushing harder on the gas in rocky segments, yeah, maybe over there the R version would have been better, but still I managed to do it, and I managed to do it in comfort, and I have nothing to complain about it. So if you're doing this kind of stuff, if you want to do some adventure riding, like traveling a lot, that includes some off-road, but not that kind of off-road you're doing with an enduro bike, well, this one is just good. So for trips like this one, for what I did in Central Asia with the Africa Twin, for what I did in Siberia with the BMW A50 GS, this bike is just perfect. You don't need the R version. The annoying thing with this bike is that I got nothing to complain about, really, and it's really annoying. Well, okay, it's not perfect. The fuel indicator is not working that good. it's a bit weird, but yeah, it's not such a big deal. And I don't know what else. It's not that comfortable. It vibes a bit around 5,000, 6,000 RPM, but we're gonna get used to it, so it's not annoying, as I said. Now, let's be honest, it's not as comfortable as the Africa Twin or as the BMW F850 GS Adventure, but that's because of the way it's built, and that's because of the whole strategy behind this product. And in my opinion, we needed this kind of bike. There are a lot of comfortable bikes on the market for those who want to go touring, to go and hit the highway and to do some off-road from time to time, but I somehow missed this kind of bike, the bike that KTM built, which focuses more on off-road and twisties than on touring. It's not that bulky, as I said. It feels narrower, it feels a bit lighter, so I like this product very much, and I think it has its own segment in the adventure bike segment, in the middleweight class. So it's completely different to other bikes in the segment. It's not perfect, and I'm not saying it's better than the Africa Twin or it's better than the BMW F850 GS Adventure. What I'm saying is that this bike is different, and it might appeal more to some of you than other bikes. So yeah, this is the thing with the KTM. That's what I learned so far. Other than that, I don't know. I'm waiting for your questions in the comment section below, and I'm gonna answer all of them. I still have 1,000 kilometers to get home in Bucharest, and right after that we're gonna make 2 more videos with this bike. In one of them I'm gonna put it against the Africa Twin I used in Central Asia and the BMW F850 GS I used in Siberia, and I'm gonna try to come up with this kind of long trip experience and to spot the differences between these 3 bikes. And the other one is gonna be a special review. It's gonna be the 790 Adventure against the BMW F850 GS Adventure and against the Yamaha Tenere 700. So a lot of interesting videos coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you didn't, and if you want to support us, there's a donation link in the description of this video. It's gonna help us to come up with better and better video production and with more and more videos. And yeah, I think that's it. See you next time. Thanks for watching.